Welcome back, boys and some girls. This video will be a breakdown of the game Enslaved Odyssey to the West regarding to the story, the problems I found with it, and what I can see in the future in like a second game if it will ever be made. What I can say for certainty is that I do love the game, but I don't know why, because the gameplay is horrible, just horrible. The story is very interesting though. So all the video coverage you will see, all the footage you will see in this video comes out from a different video I made, a long play I made. So if you want a more detailed, not explanation, but more story, go watch that, link below. Alright, let's begin breaking down the story. The story starts with you being on a slaver ship. How you got to the slaver ship, nobody really knows. All you know that you got captured by slavers and you're on your way to their place, basically. Now, during your stay on the ship, a certain interesting woman somehow escaped her cell and started breaking down the ship. Again, how? Nobody knows, she just input some codes and the ship started blowing up. Don't ask questions, just enjoy the game. After a whole section inside the ship of you jumping on stuff, learning a bit how to fight, how to use the camera, stuff like that, then you're holding on to the escape pod of the same girl as she escapes, and both of you get launched right into Central Park in New York. When you wake up from obviously falling from the sky, I don't know how you survived it, but you did, you have a slave handband on your head, meaning now everything the girl says you have to do. If you don't, you die. If she dies, you die. So you kind of have to keep close to her. Now, why did she do all of that? Simply because she wants you as her slave, to use you as her basically pawn to complete her objective. And what does she want? Well, to get back home. And to do that, she needs your help. Why? She thinks that you're strong, so I guess that's why she tried to get your help. Now, in order to get your help and to actually go to her place back again, you have to get your bike back. And your bike was on the ship that crashed, meaning now both of you have to go through the jungle, which used to be New York City, and go to the crash site. This is a bunch of levels of you fighting stomachs, learning the basics, learning how to upgrade your stuff, jumping between a bunch of fun platforms, but nothing too crazy or insane happens during those moments. Simply them learning about each other a bit more and her listening to him because she did some stupid stuff which almost got them killed, and then he says, you have to listen to me if you want to actually complete this. After a whole bunch of fighting and a bit of emotional talking and some nice cutscenes and also some dumb cutscenes, we get to the bike. Obviously at the bike we have to fight a boss that isn't too hard, just stand there shocking him and hitting him. It's not that hard really. And once you get the bike, we get an instant cutscene to the next part, and the next part is her basically arriving at her home. When we get to her home, to her village, to her town, all the security systems are on, which is kind of strange because it's not supposed to be like that. Now she obviously stupidly believed that only one slave ship came to get her and no more slaver ships came around to get the other guys. Why? Because she simply don't want to believe that her friends died, which I guess, yes, makes sense. She doesn't want people to die, but if you want to be realistic, come on, they're dead. So once again, we do a bunch of jumping and a bunch of climbing, a bunch of fighting mechs, and we basically find out that everybody is there is dead. A lot of people are burned in their place, killed wherever they were. They weren't even taken away, they just were killed on the spot, which kind of makes no sense, but I will expand on it later. And we also find out that her father died, but he's not burned or dead because he got into the vault alone, left all the other people to die on their own because he's a very nice person, yes. And he basically died there leaving a message for her that he knows she's resourceful, that she will get back to home, and that if she hears this message, then he was right. And yeah, he was right. Yes, it's a game. This is the point in the story where everything kind of changes. Up to now is where personally I very much like the story, and now it turns into more of a revenge story, like The Last of Us 2, which I don't really like. And it's about the same concept, you will see. Anyway, she says to him, well, I kind of lied to you, because I'm not gonna get rid of the masks now. You're gonna keep helping me until I get revenge for my father's death. We're going to the slavers to destroy them. I mean, it's kind of a big job for two people, and she has really no idea how to do it. So in order to complete that, she actually goes to her dad's friend, a late dad friend, and she doesn't know exactly where to look for him, but she knows he's like area. So the next mission is us going into an interesting creepy place, like swampy rivery place that is filled with a whole bunch of piggy merchandise and piggy everywhere. Now this is exactly where we meet Pigsy, and when we meet Pigsy we understand why he's named Pigsy. He's a pig, not only in appearance but also in character. Right when he meets Trips again, he recognizes her, and the first thing he does is, obviously after asking about her dad, is flirting with her. Yes, the first thing he does after learning that her father died is trying to flirt with her. Very nice individual, yes. The following few levels are basically a love triangle between the three of them, which I don't really like, but again I will expand on it later on. There's like a whole competition between the boys over her, and there is no really competition because Monkey doesn't really care and Trip don't really care about Pigsy. She only sees him as like an old guy who is her father friend, yes. So it's kind of strange how everything is going, but it just eventually turns out that Pigsy wants to get revenge on you because he thinks that you're a couple, you just don't tell anybody. So he makes you fight like a giant rhino boss, which is I think the most annoying boss fight in the game in my opinion, because it's so like the controls are horrible and you have to move fast and dodge a bunch of times and shoot while you're fighting the boss. It's kind of an annoying boss. I really don't like this. After you finish with the rhino, then Pigsy decides, okay, I tried to kill him, that's enough. Then they get everything they have and they go get a big mech. Why? They want to use the big mech that the pyramid, which is basically like the bad guys, and I'm putting quotation here because they're not really the bad guys in my opinion, and they basically go take their machine and they want to use it against them to get the revenge. So they go basically, if I calculated it correctly, because you start in New York and you go to Nevada, I think you find like the mech inside the dam. And I think the dam is the Hoover Dam because it's the biggest one and it's in the general direction. It is in Nevada, so it makes sense. This is the dam the machine is in before they go to the next place, which is the final battle. So I think this is where they went. New York, Hoover Dam, and then somewhere in Nevada. I don't know where. There are no pyramids in Nevada as far as I know, but who knows, I don't live there. So in the Leviathan, the giant robot fight or level, all we do is basically get a submarine, get inside the robot, because again it's underwater. Once we are inside, we we turn on the robot, we freeze 4 legs which are under shackles, and once we do that we have control of the robot, and then we head on to the last battle. In the final battle, the final level, which is quite a short level, you fight a few mechs, you fight one big boss, you get a whole bunch of cutscenes about how you get over there, and there's like a bunch of big mech scorpions that are coming to fight against you. Everything just ends with Pigsy dying inside the big machine. He basically takes all the scorpions with him and explode, while you and Trip jump off and basically go by legs to the pyramid. Now, once you go into the pyramid, you get revealed that all the slaves are just standing there, inside the matrix. They have helmets on, they have visions of the past and how amazing life were back then. They basically have the vision of one man that lived. I don't exactly know what his name is, and I don't think they even say. The actor name is Andy, but I don't think that's the same name. Anyway, they all experience his memories, and everybody's happy in the Matrix. Now, Monkey gets opportunity to also vision the Matrix, and he sees it, and he says, oh, that's beautiful. And before he even gets to say, okay, let's keep it, let's destroy it, no emotions, boom, Trip takes all the machines connected to the man that basically shares his memories and tear them apart. And that basically leaves that man dying, and everybody is released from the slave headband, and that's the end. Okay, now you just heard all the story in a few minutes. I missed a whole bunch of stuff because I don't need you to know that. I just wanted you to know what I told you so I can explain to you my next points, which are the stuff that are somewhat annoying me or that simply makes no sense to me. And they have no order. I'm just gonna say them in like a completely different, like whatever's come to mind first, so it's not chronological. Number 1 is the guilt tripping that Trip does to Monkey right near the end. just 1 second before they reach the final level. This is so annoying. When they're right at the final battle, right, like the cutscene between level 12 and 13, which is 13 is the last, she stops there, they both sit on the floor, she turns off the slave headband and she tells him, if you want, you can go, you don't have to continue doing this. 1 second, they're already in the mech, they're on the way to the final battle, and now she says, oh, you don't have to do that. That's the most guilt-tripping, gaslighting, whatever you want to call it, I've seen. Just imagine, I said it on the long play I did also. Imagine I take you to like a house, place you don't want to go to. And right when we are at the door, I stop you. I don't hold your hand anymore and I say, oh, if you want, you can go. I'm staying here and I'm already with my car here. If you want to go home, you can go, but you need to find your own way. I don't care how you do it. But you can go if you want. You see how stupid this is? It's not really a choice. It's not a choice. They're trying to make this as if it's like a romantic thing that, oh, he simply loves her so much or he wants to help her. It's a complete BS. He doesn't really have a choice. Throughout the whole game, she kind of gaslights him and basically manipulates him. I won't say through the whole game, but from the halfway point. Since she basically having a real objective to get revenge, since then she kind of really started manipulating him. Number 2 is a very small thing. Right at the start, Monkey tries to fight against the slave headband, which is kind of dumb because we already know what the slave headband does. So I don't really see the point of like him fighting against it. Him just accepting it is going to be even more in character because he's like a quiet guy, he doesn't say much, he just simply acts. And yeah, if he knows he can't fight against it, why like make him do this? It's kind of useless and it breaks character. Number 3 is about Pigsy. All throughout the gameplay, to help you cross a bunch of stuff that they want you to tackle in a certain order, Pigsy throw bombs at the shackles in the Leviathan, or walls that you need to cross, bosses you need to fight, stuff like that. He basically throws bomb at them and you have to use your staff to shoot it. Now, he also has a gun and he says, oh, I can't shoot it, you shoot it. But he literally has a gun on him. I don't see the point why he won't shoot it, but it's just a small thing that annoys me. Number 4, when we get to her village, to Tripp's village, why are all the slavers killing people? What's the point? Their objective is to take people and bring them into the Matrix, so they're gonna live a happy life. So what's the point of burning people alive and killing them on the spot? It makes no sense. Okay, let's say they fought against you, so you had to kill a few of them in the fighting. Okay, fine. Why the whole village? Makes no sense. Why would you do that? I think it's just to create like drama, like sadness. Oh, all the sadness. Oh, maybe her father died. All her friends are dead. She has reason to be emotional now. That's lazy. Just lazy. At least if you want to say it, okay, so give a different objective to the slavers, I will say, okay, yes, makes sense. But you simply said at the end that all they want to do is the good stuff and basically make people happy and bring them so there won't be any more wars, any more fighting. Then what? Just choose one. Number 5 is the romance triangle or the romance in general. I just don't see what's the point of it. Especially when I played the first time and even later, I simply see this as like a dad's daughter or older brother, younger sister relationship between the two of them. And then you add the like Pigsy and the whole third wheel, and I just don't see it that way. It seems weird. I get like a lot of The Last of Us like feels from the same thing. So for me, I really didn't like the whole romance stuff, but it is what it is. Maybe it's just me. And I kept the big one for the end. The big one is, why the hell did Tripp kill this man? What's the freaking point? Okay, she wanna get revenge. Nice, cool. How about using your brain instead? Now what she does is she releases so many people into the desert without any means to fend for themselves. They have nothing there. No food, no power, just themselves with a bunch of clothes on them. That's it. The smart thing to do would be to use them to actually build something, some kind of basis. And this is not for her, it's for the man too. Why the hell would you put people in the Matrix? You have the power to take people. You have the slave headbands already. Take those people, make them build, I don't want to say a country, but make them rebuild the world. Instead of saying, oh, the world outside is horrible, then change it. You have the power. It's not like you're a nobody, you're saying, oh, the world is shit, and then I can say, fine, makes sense. You literally have the power. He's the strongest in the world right now. Change it. This makes no sense to me. What's the point? Use all your power, all your machinery, all your robots, all your slave handband. Make something in this world and then release everybody into that. Make them live it. You could say, oh, we don't want wars, that's why we're doing this, because then they won't have any more wars. Well, she killed him. There will be wars now. People are going to be even more warring than before, because now they have nothing. They have to fight each other for food, for shelter, for anything, basically. So, I don't know. I think it's a bad ending. Now, this is the part when I go and I tell you what I think should be in the future. If, let's say, it's been 14 years, but if there's ever gonna be a second game or whatever, that's how I think it should be done, okay? Let's say we keep the current ending, we don't change the ending. The ending is Trip killed this man, and it is what it is, right? Especially with the face Monkey does at the end, in my opinion, he should be feeling betrayed. And the second game should start with him basically breaking apart, or just like going his own way, his own journey. And I think the second game should be based on basically Monkey finding happiness again, finding reasons to be happy. Because all throughout the first game, I'm saying the first as if there is a second, but all throughout the game, he basically just keeps being sad and bad stuff happened to him. And she makes him a slave and he keeps hallucinating stuff. And it is like, it's like a build-up for something, but they don't use it. That's like what makes me kind of sad. Also, we kind of change character like halfway through the story, but again, we're talking about the future, not the past. As I was saying, he, in my opinion, he should be trying to find happiness, be it a person or a community. Either way, I don't really care, okay? Then he goes, he finds happiness, and I think he should be trying to restore the world of what left from whatever this was, right? Now, you could make a third game and that be the restoration of the world, right? So the first game is what we have. Second game is him breaking apart and going on his own journey and trying to find happiness. Third game would be about restoring the world, basically using whatever was left from the pyramid, whatever is left from the machines, the slave headband, whatever you want, and using that as a basis to build and restore the whole world. And the fourth game could be basically Trip went crazy because her family died, all her community died, and Monkey left her alone, so she went insane. And the fourth game could be about basically them fighting. She's the bad guy, he's the good guy, he's trying to save, she's trying to destroy, and kill them both at the end. Both of them gonna die. If you want to do it, you can do it in the pyramid. That's gonna be very symbolic. Kill them both over there. They're gonna be a fight or something, and then they're gonna die over there. I think it's going to be a nice ending. You get the whole circle from beginning to end, creation, destruction. I think it's going to be very interesting. But yeah, the world is interesting. The world is very interesting. I wish there would be more games. Right now, the developers are just doing like all the horror stuff, which I really hate. It's boring as hell. All the psychological horror, Senua's Blade and Senua's whatever. I really don't like it. But again, to each their own. So I don't really hope. I hope, but I don't think that ever it's gonna happen. And yeah, I can't do much about that. Also, if you do it, please have better gameplay. Don't keep the current gameplay. It's freaking horrible. Same concept would be nice, but change the gameplay. Thank you. But that's it. Yeah, it is 24 minutes. I wonder how long it's gonna be for you. Yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, thank you. If you didn't, don't know why you're still here. Keep us safe. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.